of our local creeks that we've gotten some good gold in the past. This area floods out every once in a while. You can see the bank over there where it gets cut away. So in the past we've gotten some good gold here. I'm going to show you today about our folding sluice box and our header kit. It's in that box over there. And we're going to see if we can get some gold with you guys today. So here we go. In this box we have our multi-purpose kit. What includes inside this box is our folding sluice box, our head kit, the legs, and the frame, all inside one box. So if you have this box, you're ready for running water or not. But since we have running water right here, we're going to set up the sluice box right here and get some good dirt on the inside of this bank here and run it off and see if we can find some little bit of gold for you today. We'll open it up here. What we're going to do is we're going to open the box up, and then we're going to set up in the creek, and then we're going to show you how it runs without the legs. And then we'll show you how it runs with the legs, how much time you can save with using legs. So you can save more time setting your stuff up. And then we're going to take it back out, and we're going to act like we have no running water, and we'll put our head on there and pump the water to it where you have just standing water. So now we're going to open it up and see what we've got in this box here. So we open it up. Again, this is our multi-purpose kit. Let's open it up. This is our folding backpacking sluice right here. This is what we're going to be using today. So we're going to set that aside. It's really simple to operate. All you do is just open it up. There's our instructions right there. We're going to set that aside. Just one click past center right there. One click past center. And this is our flare. We're going to put that on right there. Right now, without any tools, we have our sluice box ready to go, except for putting the flare on there. That's real easy too. We're going to just remove the bolts and just put it right on there. The purpose of this flare is to channel water into your sluice box. So we're just going to loosen his wing nuts right here, up, right here. We use wing nuts because there's no tools. You don't want to have any tools out here because once they drop in the dirt, they get lost. And so you have no tools. So you open that up, take that wing nut off, and attach that to right there. Put that right there. Put our wing nuts through there. Attach the other side with the other wing nut. We put the wing nuts on the outside, that way it's more smoother on the inside with the head of the bolt. Okay, so as you see, that's fully assembled there. So we're going from 15 inches as its folded state to 50 inches. So we have a 50-inch sluice box that'll fit inside of a 5-gallon bucket. And it folds together. You can take it back apart with this no tools. There's a little catch right here. You just put your finger right there. There's folded. There's locked up with that no tools right there. Unfolds just like that. We're going to put it in our stream. Now this hole you see right here, that's for attaching it to our frame, which we'll show you later. Now if you're using it as a sluice box by itself without the frame, there's a little button right here that you can unclamp this little button and put it in that hole. Some people in the past say, I'm losing my gold out of that hole. But it's not really true because most of the stuff you're dropping is right here. But if you want to, we can unclamp that and pop that right in that hole. But right now, we're just going to drop it in the frame. All right, we got a nice stream right here. We're looking for a nice spot that's got nice running water and it looks good. And we're just going to drop it right here. Now this is 50 inches long. The rule of thumb is an inch per foot. So it's about 4 foot long. We need about a 4-inch drop in this end versus this end. So we're going to try to drop it right here and see what we can get going. That looks okay. Kind of losing it. Now you don't want to see your sluice box under the water. What that does is makes too much pressure and it pushes the material and doesn't allow it to turn. So you need to get this end up a little bit so it's a little bit too deep. What we do there is just grab some rocks and shim it up a little bit. That's more better because now you don't want to see it much deeper than the size of the box. Now it's very critical to get it leveled off. You don't want to see it all the material run to one side, so we're going to try to get this leg leveled off with some rocks here. Put a few more rocks. I'm trying to get a little bit more stable. A little rocky on this side. Get a few more rocks. We're looking for stability. We don't want to shake it. Once we start putting the material in there, we don't want it rocking back and forth. We want a nice stable surface. Later, when I show you the leg kit, we won't have to go through all this because we can just level it off and it'll be sturdy right there. So now we're looking for no rocking. That's pretty good. The flow looks pretty good. That looks really good. Now, one last thing is the box is almost trying to float away. You can grab a rock that'll reach across it like this and hold the unit down with just a nice rock like that one. Now we're feeling pretty good. That's really good. At the right angle, that's about 4 inches. The real tell is when you put the material in there. You watch and see what the material does. You want to see that material turning. We're going to see that in a few minutes. Now what you want to do is find a nice spot on the bank where you can get some good material. You want to dig this stuff down here because this is a lot of flow sand where it's just flowing over the top. All the gold, when we have a flood in here, when it really gets a good rain, will fall off on the inside of the bank. So here's a natural turn of the creek, and we're going to dig up over here and try to get some material. So here's the placement. That took probably about 5 minutes, but it's all ready to go right there. Let's get some good material over here at the bank. To make your stream sluice run faster, you want to exclude all the rocks that are 3/4 and bigger. So this is a 1/2-inch classifier. So what you do is you set this on top of your bin right here, and we're going to classify all our material out to 1/2 inch or smaller. What you do is just set it on top of there and rock it back and forth. And here we got all of the rocks that are bigger than 1/2 inch. We set that aside. Now, what's nice thing about gold prospecting, you can have kids. This is a real interactive sport that people can enjoy. You can have your child right there, and you could be shoveling right there. And nothing's better than having a kid digging in the dirt. It's a lot of family fun here. So it's best to have one guy shoveling and one guy shaking. And the kids, they really enjoy playing in the dirt right here, along with the big kids too, you know? So now the one thing with these 5-gallon buckets, you give your kid this bucket, you walk over there and he'll be filling it all up right there, and you come back and it's completely full to the top. And it's like, oh, you know, Johnny, you did a good job, but I can't pick up this bucket. It's so darn heavy. This is why we recommend the 3.5-gallon bucket. They can't overfill it, and it's still easily usable, okay? So I recommend getting some of this. That way the kids, when they're out there filling up and you're running your material and they're filling it up, you can carry it back to the stream right there. So, but a 5-gallon bucket works really good. So we're going to take this material back to our sluice box right here and see what we can do. Now a sluice box, it's a concentrator. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this dirt and all the dirt that we're going to put through it. It's going to concentrate it into one 10-inch pan full of material. When we clean out all the carpets, it'll equal one 10-inch pan full of material. So a stream sluice is the first thing you can buy at a reasonable cost that can actually find some gold, because if you get your pan and dig it right here and pan that out, it takes 3 or 4 minutes to pan that same amount of material that'll go through here in about 30 seconds. The name of gold prospecting is you got to move a lot of material to find a little bit of gold. And that's what a sluice box does for you at a reasonable price. So what we're going to do is grab our bucket right here, and we're going to flop it on right here. Right there. Now the material is going to go across this stream, this rubber mat. That rubber mat is the first spot where you can ID gold and see gold come up on that rubber mat. What that does is when you start seeing these first specks come up there, then you know that's a good spot for gold, because you want to spend your time feeding this. When you get this thing set up here, I've already been here for, 15, 20 minutes putting this in. We want to spend our time processing as much dirt as we can. So there we go. So you see the material behind the riffles, and it's clean. Behind the riffles, clean. Behind the riffles, and clean. That's about the right angle right there. You always want to see, you never want to see the thing filling up clear up. There it comes across the rubber mat right there. We've got a little eddy right here. It's a little thing. We should swing it over just a little bit. But see this material turning right here? It's cleaning out right here. So you got dirt, clean, dirt, clean, dirt, clean, dirt, clean. That is perfect. That's what you want to see when you're running a sluice box. If it's filling up with sand all the way across, we don't have enough water flow or enough angle. Now we got a little dam going right here, so we got a good amount of water flow. But you see that? It goes really fast. That's at least a pan full of material right there. Again, that would take you about 3 or 4 minutes, and here we are about, I don't know, 15 seconds. And we're ready to add some more, because here we got the dirt behind there. If you look really close, it's turning. What that's calling is it's calling a eddy, where the gold is falling off behind the riffles. Now the expanded metal acts like more little riffles, and it also protects your gold when it gets bigger rocks rolling over the top of it. It gets it trapped down in the carpet right there. But you see that is the perfect right there. Behind the riffle, clean. Behind the riffle, clean. That is really good. Again, we almost got this whole half bucket all done. We only did a little bit. So we're going to put some more in there. And again, that's probably a pan worth of material. Hey, we got our first speck of gold right here. Right there. There's one little speck of gold right there. There's another one right there. So far we got about 2 specks of gold right there. Material's bouncing back and forth. But eventually that'll fall off in our ripples right here and get trapped right here. Now if I try to pick it up with my snuffer bottle, we're wasting our time. We want to keep running the material because it's not going to go anywhere. Because if you watch my finger right here, the speck's right there. If I put my finger next to it, it moves. It just jumped over about 1 inch and 3 doors down. So it's impossible to get that material off that rubber. So we're going to keep going. So we know that area right there is producing a little bit of specks right there. So what we're going to do is keep feeding our material. Again, that's a good pan worth of material right there. And again, that same amount of material, if we were panning it right here, it would be 3 or 4 minutes. And look, it's all done again. Again, it's so important that we want to see the material behind the riffles and clean. If it fills up with sand all the way across, that gold is going to follow that sand right out the end of the sluice box, and you'll lose all your material. We still got those 2 little specks, one right there and one right there. This one's a good size one, not real big, but we're finding some good gold here. That's all what it's all about. So there's our first pan with the stuff. That went fairly quick. And again, here's our little bucket, a little bit heavier, but again, we can process the material pretty fast. Now you got to remember that when I pile the material right here, only about 1/3 of the material touches this rubber mat. So what you see on the rubber mat, if we got 2 specks, 3 specks, there should be about 3 times as much in the mat, because when you set the material on top of the mat, it folds over, and only 1/3 of the material touches this rubber mat. And we still got our little 3 specks right there, but we should have we should have at least 9 specks in our sluice box right there. Looking really good. It's nothing better than finding gold, you know. Neat thing about gold, it doesn't tarnish, it's always shiny, and you can tell it's gold because it's really heavy. It's still stuck on there. You notice there's nothing else on this mat. Nothing but our 3 little specks of gold that we still got there. That's how you know it's gold. It's gold color. And again, I can't stress enough that it's clean. You've got dirt behind the riffles, which is actually turning. If you look at it really close, it's continually turning. It's looking really good. So I see at least 1, maybe 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly 1 there, and possibly a little dinky one right there. Okay, you seen me set this up in the creek here. We got all the rocks right here, and we're putting them underneath and stuff. This is a nice place to do it right now, but this is a fairly shallow creek. Some creeks, they fall off very fast, and they get very deep. Like I was telling you, the water can be no taller than the sides of the sluice box, because otherwise the pressure, you drop this on the bottom of the creek, the pressure is too great and the material will not flow. It'll just be water pressure holding the thing. You won't get the separation. You won't get that eddy because the water pressure is pushing it down. And that's where our legs come in advance. If we were out here, even this is kind of we're out here by about 10 inches of water right here. We'd have to stack up rocks, 8 inches of rocks, to be able to use it in this spot right here. And that's where our leg kit will come in handy, where the creek will fall down to get out where the running water is fast enough to process the material. So, but in a stream sluice, in this fashion, it's the best thing. There's no electricity. It runs. There's no permits. There's no season. It runs right here without no motor. And that's the sluice box for you. So now we're going to take it out and show you about how the leg kit works on that. We'll assemble the leg kit and then we'll come up and push it right on to it.